The TikTok youth pastor who isn't going to heaven. I have no idea who the fuck he's talking about. I've never heard of Joe Robe. But I am pretty interested by the title alone, you know?
It seemed like he was holier than holy. As Joe Robe made it seem like he was holier than holy. As a Christian youth pastor, he dedicated his TikTok to showing respect for women until 6 different people exposed him for his own secretly terrible.
Yeah, I love how people always so say like, hey, I respect women. They just always turn out to be like groomers. Like always. Just like, bro, I respect women regardless of age in the same exact way.
History. You could
The full episode of Skibbity Toilet got released. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing again. What the hell? I'm not that much of a milker, bro. The fact that I've watched, part 1, part 2, and then the whole thing just for one extra scene, just rewatch the whole thing.
see the red flags in early tweets like this one. I am a Christian, and I support LGBTQ, and I support BLM, and I support people of other faiths, and I support.
Wow, amazing. You're average human. Wow, you're average human. Wow.
Women's right to choose. The need to vocalize his own morality was almost strangely excessive.
Yeah,
and his
exactly. Like I genuinely don't understand like why even. It's so weird. Like it's the exact same. Like whenever someone says like I'm a nice guy, you know, usually they're not a nice guy. You know, you know, whenever you say like I'm not a nice guy, that just means that you're an insufferable cunt. You know, usually people just stay silent. They don't describe themselves to someone using like you know such simple phrases.
His TikTok videos weren't any different. He wanted to punch all men who talked about how women dressed, while reminding his female followers that they had total control of their body. When he wasn't supporting women, it was instead minorities.
It's homophobia, racism, misogyny, you name it, all thinly veiled as a joke, and you're not fooling anybody.
Which people found suspicious long before he was exposed.
But when this dude is making almost his entire personality about respect women, always be nice to women, respect, it
It makes him seem like kind of a simp, not gonna lie. Like, yeah, those things are great, right? All of the things that he is saying there. I mean, obviously he's gonna get outed as a pedophile, so. Those things, like, individually are great. Just, you know, make your whole personality about that. There's something sus there, like, immediately, just like, you're just trying to earn brownie points, or, you know, you're, what you may call it, you're trying something worse.
It's a little overboard, to be honest.
When questioned about his motives, Joe Robe snapped pretentiously,
Just imagine being so worried about losing your male privilege that you would call anything that has to do with equality.
Bother talking about this, like, every single thing. I guess I can, fuck you. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. It's my channel. I have to be careful with my words. See, the thing is, what I hate, right? Male privilege, that absolutely exists. I'm not gonna deny that. But a lot of people just chalk up to it. Yeah, if you're a man, you automatically have privilege. That's fucking bullshit, bro. I was never privileged in anything in my fucking life growing up. I never. I grew up in shitty ass fucking Croatia, where we had fucking jack shit, absolutely nothing. You know how people get birthday cakes for their fucking birthday? I got a fucking sandwich. That is not a big deal, by the way. I'm not like, oh, I got a sandwich. Like, I didn't have anything technologically, because Croatia was very far behind. And besides, I lived in a fucking village, or like I guess a small town. I had fucking nothing. I went to a shitty ass fucking school, which basically had zero actual like humanitarian conditions. The teachers would not be that great. Let's just say that. Some of them would do some illegal stuff. You know, for the time, like, you know, I don't want to incriminate them or anything like that, even though they were pieces of shit. Some of them. My teacher was great. My main teacher was fantastic, but the rest were kind of fucked. They were like emotional abuse. A lot of the students is fucked up and really abused their power. But that's nothing new. Yeah, all those things, blah blah blah. You know, I could go on. Doesn't really matter. I hate, basically what I'm trying to say is, I hate whenever like everyone just chalks it up to just like every single man, no matter where you're born, no matter what your situation is growing up, no matter if you like had to work hard to get where you are currently, all of that is just chalked up to, yeah, it's just male privilege. If you're a woman, you'd stay there. You'd stay there in those conditions, absolutely. Even though that, like, no, absolutely not fucking true. Every single fucking, just an example, every single woman in my class, for example, that was in Croatia, they're way better off than me right now, currently. They're way better off than me. And the only reason I'm gonna be eventually better off than them, most likely, is because I live in Germany currently, and they're stuck in Croatia. I think, at least. Maybe they'll move out. If they move out eventually too, then again they'll probably be higher up than me for a simple fucking reason. Women on average are smarter than men,
Equality for women.
which makes it easier to succeed.
Anti-men.
You know.
believing that when all
Again,
men
male privilege is a thing. It's just you can't just chalk it up to all men are privileged.
are killed, he'd be spared because of his TikToks. And when he did
Yikes.
also occasionally support men,
Now, I've talked about men getting body shamed, women getting body shamed.
the objective was still the same. Try to make himself seem like a person who did no wrong. The caption of his merch was literally "Be Better," which seemed true to him
That's
as a
funny. He's
church
basically
office
just being like, yeah, girls, I'm the only good man in the entire fucking world. Can you please sleep with me? Please. I wanna suck tits, please. That's basically what he's doing. That is essentially what he's doing.
manager and youth pastor on the weekends.
So depending on
He can't make himself look good, so he has to make all other men look bad, so he ends up looking good. Because he can't just make himself look good without making others, or trying at least, failing obviously, to make other men look bad. Because his logic is, you know, alright, if all men are like sexist, racist, homophobic, blah 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 blah, well then I look pretty good in comparison, don't I?
how long you've been following me, you may or may not know that I'm actually a very religious person.
People therefore heavily respected him, even making stan accounts such as Lovely Joe Rogan,
Yikes,
while
that's
comments
cringe.
on his live streams
Like
read,
right from the
"I've so-
beginning, I just think this guy's just like, how could you respect this guy? If like you gotta be like just dumb, because you clearly don't see the ulterior motive. Clearly,
so much respect for you. You speak for
there's
others, and it
literally
makes
like
me
from the start you can already guess three potential ulterior motives. One is clout. Second is again to get pussy, because obviously, you know, again, like I explained, putting other men down, making him look bad, so he ends up looking better. Or the last one, which was, what the fuck was it again? The first one I said was brownie points, right? Then that thing, and then the other thing that I mentioned at the start of the fucking video, I forgot which one.
so happy. Any videos criticizing him were met with thousands of dislikes until people became suspicious of Joe Rogan's supposed morality. In late 2020,
Right, the other one was to get money, because obviously if you make this kind of content, you get a certain kind of fan base that, you know, I will say the people like in that community, they really do like supporting their you know, creators who support them, which is really fucking nice. I wish the rest of the communities were like that, man, as well. But to be fair, then again, the rest of the communities are fucked up because, you know, obviously if it's not that community, the other community is likely to be just, you know, homophobes and all that other shit, because there's pretty much nobody that's actually in between. It's just like, you know, just, you know, yeah, whatever, don't care. There's nobody that doesn't care. You're either homophobic or you're pro, like pro, you know what I mean? There's literally nobody that's just like, yeah, I mean, I don't care really. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I genuinely don't give a shit. It's usually with always people saying, yeah, I absolutely support it. I'm gonna say it right away. I don't support any of that shit. I just don't get. I genuinely don't care about it. Like no matter what, I don't care. I think everyone should have equal rights and all that stuff. But that doesn't mean I like actually actively support it or anything like that. I just genuinely don't care what's that got to do with me. You know what I mean? That's my mentality, which puts me in the middle.
a TikToker named Gemini Official was exposed for his relationships with multiple young
Mind you, politically, I'm not in the middle, as you know. When I previously talked about Israel and Palestine, you can tell I'm definitely not in the middle. I'm not like one of those people who's just like, no, fuck both sides. I'm in the middle always. No, I definitely am leaning more towards one side.
girls. Being in line with Joe Rogan's content, people asked him to talk about it, although for whatever reason, Joe Rogan avoided the topic.
Message Joe Rogan saying, hey, this is a problem, can you speak about it? Which is bizarre that it would take you so long to talk about somebody who's grooming children.
Joe Rogan later explained on Discord that denouncing the actions was simply too obvious, although having previously claimed the goal of his TikTok was to create a safe space for young people, it seemed odd that
yes.
Joe Rogan didn't want to talk about it. Perhaps
That's great. Yeah. I want to create a safe space, particularly for young people. I'm talking like ages, probably like what's the minimum legal age? It's like in Japan, isn't it like 14 or something like that? Is that in Germany? Is Japan like 12? I forget. Adult pretty much pedophiles there. What was I gonna say? Yeah, specifically, you know, under the minimum age limit. That's the kind of community he wanted to build. You know, under the minimum age limit. So like, you know, if it's legal in any country, it ain't enough for him. You know what I mean?
Perhaps he was
I'm already
simply
accusing him of something he might not have done, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is gonna end
avoiding
up with, because usually these end up with, you know, talking to minors always.
drama. But this wasn't the only example where Joe Robe deflected an obvious topic. He'd become friends with a TikToker named The Calvin Brandel, whose videos promoted a similar sentiment to those made by Joe Robe. Well, turns out he'd been doing exactly what he disavowed, explaining he thought it was okay because he was TikTok famous.
I felt that with TikTok, my ego was super inflated, and I felt like I was invincible, I was unstoppable, I couldn't make any mistakes.
Despite having photos together on Instagram, Joe Robe avoided the situation.
You have no problem calling out problematic men, but it seems like the problematic man is your friend and you're a little quiet.
Eventually addressing what had happened with this iconic statement.
I'll say it again. If you groom somebody, you are disgusting. The scum of the earth.
Joe Robe, however, was doing exactly this himself.
This was somebody that I felt.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious from the beginning. Like, man, if this wasn't the thing that happened, then I would have actually looked pretty bad for just accusing a guy of being a pedophile. But he is. So
Safe
Unlucky.
around, but I don't feel safe around him anymore because he's a groomer.
yeah.
On one unassuming Wednesday, 17-year-old TikToker DillG16 uploaded the following video.
This video will be about one of the biggest hypocrites I have ever met in my life, Joe Robe. John is a disgusting and terrible hypocrite who abuses his platform by using his clout to groom and prey upon underage boys. He has done this to multiple people, including me. John
I just love how it's not underage girls and he's a we're not a pastor. What is he? Is he a pastor? Yeah, he's a youth pastor. It's just funny how, like, how come when it's Christianity, it's never like little girls, it's always little boys. I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm just saying it's funny. It's always that. How is it always that? Like, how come? I don't get it.
Called me whenever I had about
There's something there. Like, it's never little girls. It's never ever little girls. It's always little boys.
30,000 followers and joined my live stream and asked for my Snapchat, so I gave it to him. After Snapchatting for a few weeks, he asked me if I wanted to get an Airbnb with him on my 18th birthday, which was over 3 months away. He started to send me links to one-bedroom Airbnbs, and he offered to purchase me alcohol if I went, and this is him talking about the one-bedroom. He knew that I did not want to get the Airbnbs, so he thought if he invited one of my IRL friends, I would want to go. That's him asking when he was going to turn 18.
And while Joe Robe was at least waiting until their 18th birthday, the group chat they shared wasn't quite so clean.
During one of the Zooms with all of my TikTok friends, John thought it would be a good idea.
Guys,
to have us
asking that
all-
when you're gonna turn 18 to a minor in itself, even that is like kind of fucking weird, because that implies that, you know, you're basically just, you know, you want to fuck them already. You're just like impatient, like, fuck, can you get 18 already so I can fuck you? It's like, come on.
I'll take a BDSM score test and send him.
Yeah, and clearly, yeah, fucking weird, man. It's just weird. It's just, I feel like you should just never talk to minors at all, honestly. You should just never fucking do it. Like most, it seems like people just can't like hold a normal conversation with someone who's like, you know, like a mature conversation. A mature, by mature I mean them being mature, and, you know, recognizing that, you know, you probably shouldn't talk about that. Those kinds of things with a fucking minor. It's kind of fucked up, you know.
Him our results. Keep in mind, the youngest was 15 years old and the oldest were 19, and there were only two 19-year-olds and everybody else was 17 and below.
Which had happened just a month before Joe Robe's 28th birthday. DillG added one more detail.
What was that
before
thing
the-
again? I keep hearing this. What was it again? Like, subtract your age by half and then add 7, I think it was. And that's like the age you're allowed to date. So he's 28. Subtract that by 2. That's divide that by 2. It's 14 plus 7, so 21. Okay, so it's weird that he's dating a 19-year-old.
The video finished.
I found out that
That's
there
such a
are
weird thing, by the way, because then technically, like, if you're like what? Let me see. If you're 20, you divide that by 2, right? Then it's 10 plus 7. So 20. As a 20-year-old, you're allowed to date someone who's 17 by that logic, but that's illegal. I mean, not dating. I'm pretty sure dating isn't. I don't even know. I think just sexual intercourse is illegal. That's still, I mean, it is, you know, it's not obviously that like, obviously, like, if you think about it morally, it's like, yeah, come on, they're both kids, let's be honest. But, you know, still a bit weird.
People that John
But they're like, yeah, that's
As
fine.
a person named Coco then also came forward.
He started asking like different
And
questions.
also, it
like,
doesn't work when you're like not an equal number, obviously, because then you get like real specific. Like, I don't know, let's see for me, 21, right? So you get you get 10 and a half, right? And then you add 7, so 17 and a half. So I can date, so I can, by their logic, I can date a 17 and a half year old. But if it's younger than 17 and a half, then it's bad. It's so dumb. Like, can we just like, can we just all agree that like 18 and that's it, you know? Above 18 and that's good, you know?
Like, what state do you live in? And do your parents let you travel? And do you like to travel? And and he offered to buy me a room with him. He offered to buy me alcohol. This is the one quote I remember him talking to me. I may be a pastor, or I may work for God, but I'm not against kids having fun. I should have realized it right there.
Then there was
Yikes.
another.
Okay, that's a really fucking ominous fucking sentence. That's fucked up.
Details about what happened between me and Joro because it is quite not safe for work.
And another after that.
He'd also make promises about getting Airbnbs and
Oh,
meeting
there are
up
girls
with
as well,
us.
okay.
He'd promise alcohol and hot tubs.
Guys, but he's in the bi community. That makes him good, right? No, I swear to God, there will be some people who cope like that. Very few, but still. I have seen it before.
A Google Doc listing everything else he'd done. He'd tried to get blank and blank to create an OnlyFans once he turned 18.
Not for
and
these
said
kinds
he'd
of
set it up
charges. Usually not. I mean, for like other things, whenever someone does like something bad, it's like, well, you know, they get treated much more harshly if they're just a straight, you know, person, as opposed to just, you know, as opposed to being like gay or like bi, because that kind of gives you like a little bit of immunity. Depends on what it is, obviously. Things like this, no fucking way. This is very bad. Like some other stuff, no, not at all.
For him and subscribe, also strangely bribing the group to call him hot, and locking a girl who was also intoxicated out of Zoom for calling him old and refusing to call him hot. Papa Gut talked about the document in this video here, after which he'd be messaged a story worse than every other one combined. I ran a small fan account for Joe Robe on Instagram. He eventually asked for my Snapchat. He told me no one else had his Snapchat and made me promise to not give anyone it or to tell anyone what we talk about. Conversations got really weird and he sent me a lot of dirty pictures, 4 of which were included to prove he wasn't lying. I was also 14 at the time. He didn't even bother to ask how old I was or for any form of identification, but he would call me a baby a lot and would try and force me to call him daddy. To make matters worse, John's church profile explained outside of his
so
work.
weird how people even like. I feel like if I began talking to a female online, like I wouldn't even try and bring up anything sexual until they did, and then I'd fucking ask for the age. I feel like that's the like proper way to go about it. Like if they actually bring up something sexual, like regardless of who it is, you know, because obviously if they're, I guess that's kind of a lot. Like you get like kind of stomach there as well, but like I don't know. There's it's very difficult. I mean, I think just the best thing is outright. You just fucking, if you're like interested at all, you just fucking ask their age immediately. Like that's the best thing to do. You're like underage, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, you know, go find someone else.
At St. John, he is a private music teacher with over a dozen students, and up until recently was the activities chair for the Northern Sky District of the Boy Scouts of America.
To finish that thought, to be fair, I don't understand how the fuck you, in the first place, how you bring up anything sexual in that kind of way. Like how all of these people do, for example. Like, then again, these people are fucking weird. I just don't understand how you can be like in DMs and someone just suddenly asks like, hey, can you take this BDSM test? Like, that's a bit fucking weird, isn't it? You know?
But wait until you hear why he left his previous job. Someone messaged one of the accusers, I wanted to reach out because I'm on staff at the church he used to work at. He was removed from staff over 2 years ago, and he was really upset with our church and strict protocols for working with youth, so he left to go to another church. We're currently in the process of contacting the other church and places he's at, as well as local authorities. Joe Robe's LinkedIn partially confirms the story's legit, as it shows he previously worked in the very same church as the lady who told the anecdote. Unsurprisingly, people demanded Joe Robe also lose his new job,
St. John Lutheran Church. You have some explaining to do.
with Papa Gut even calling the church directly.
This is the church that he works at. I know this because I called the church that he works at and I asked him if he works there. They said yes. I told them that they were very serious, incredible allegations. They immediately hung up after they said, oh, thank you.
Despite hanging up the phone,
oh, thank you. Beep. It's like, okay, we don't care. We don't care. It's like, oh, that's all? Oh, he's fucking little boys, that's all? Oh, okay, well. Happens every fucking weekend here. It was like, bro, you should see our basement, bro. Holy shit, you think that's bad? You should see our basement, bro.
The church quickly deleted Joe Rogan from their website before iSpeak1906 extracted
they took action.
an unofficial statement.
Maybe. He could still be working, they just like... I don't know. He could still be working, they just deleted him off the website, that's possible.
The pastor reached out and he wants to remain anonymous. However, the bishop is aware and he has been terminated and authorities have been contacted, and that's about all that we have.
But the bigger question was, how did Joe Rogan himself respond? Did he make a self-aimed TikTok about his own heinous actions? Well, no. He deleted his TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, even his LinkedIn, and hasn't been heard from since. His refusal to address the two previous situations.
Bro's caught doing some such shit, just immediately deletes everything. Like, it's gonna fucking actually go away. By the way, the best thing is, like, yeah, he deletes all of his stuff, right? But the videos still remain on him that incriminate him and have his content in it. Like, it's not like that's gonna prevent you from getting caught by the cops or anything. Like, oh, delete evidence. People recorded that evidence, you know, for, like, to be used against you, essentially. Even with video essays, that's enough.
Situations suddenly all made sense, while others were less surprised. The accusation can't be real. A white knight influencer being secretly an awful person is unheard of. Not even surprised. It's always these types of men that end up being predators, but no one was less surprised than one of Joe Rogan's former friends.
I mean, the fucked up thing about these comments are like not these two specifically, just half of them in general that are probably just like actual sexists and racists and homophobes, which doesn't make them, well, it makes them better. I think it's better to be that than you know, just passive at least, where you don't actually fucking take action and kill people who you don't like. I think it's better to be that than a fucking actual pedophile, you know, in my opinion. Still pretty bad though, still pretty bad. But then it's kind of fucked up, you know. Still half of these people, it's not like they're like, you know, actually know him, except they don't speak up and don't like pretend, like, oh, show the world, look how good I am, you know. They're just actually good. Like, that's probably a minority of people
who personally knows John Bell and lived with him at university for a year. I can assure you that he's not the good guy here, and that these accusations line up with his past behavior. The dude was all-knowing, manipulative, homophobic, and tried to give off this ultropious Christian facade.
I mean, you know, it's funny. Sunny V2 kind of sometimes reads out these comments, but like, is there any proof of this? This is just a guy yapping. It's not like this has any proof, and he only has 5 upvotes.
Nothing about his online presence was genuine. Karma is taking a toll on him, and I'm glad he's getting thrown off the internet. Before any of this happened, Vegan Teacher had stated, John Robert Bell, you're going straight to hell. And it turns out her song hit the nail on the head.
Damn. Damn, okay. That's actually kind of funny. That was a good video, though. That was a good video.